Welcome back to the channel. So today I want to sit down and talk about Colorado Pet Patrol. A couple of days ago, he was in the news because a couple of reasons actually. One was for the fact that he kept telling his audience that he's a 503 or nonprofit, and that a lot of donations and stuff like that he gets will be considered a tax write-off. Found out that it was not the case. He never actually properly filed the paperwork to become nonprofit. So now he's claiming ignorance of he didn't know and he thought that he filed all the necessary paperwork, and he'll sit there and refund people, and for anyone that felt like they were duped or cheated or whatever. But it got worse, because that's not even like the worst part about it. That's not even the worst part about this news video. The worst part about this news video is that, just like Jason or PP Maz, Tommy got the wrong person one time. Actually, to tell you the truth, he got the wrong person a couple of times. This is when he went on live, and then granted, he erased the video and stuff like that, but he approached the wrong person and he accused them of being a prat. And it's one of those things where it's like, this is the problem with a lot of these different groups. This is something that I heard about in the news one time, and some guy was pretty much like, yo, listen, you better hope that each time that you go out there to catch one of these people, that you catch the right person, okay? Because defamation of character, accusing somebody of doing something that they didn't do, regardless if you erase the video or not, people upload stuff all the time. That's the reason why I was able to say the one with PP Maz of him accusing the wrong person of something. But from what his decoys was basically saying is that he accused him of something that they didn't do, and he didn't even bother to offer him an apology. I mean, yeah, he erased the video and everything like that, but stuff like that can be very traumatic. Like, you don't just sit there and just walk up to the wrong person and be like, oh, you're a pedo. You look like this person, or you're not. And then just walk off. Like, that's not something that you do. And he's done that more than once. He's done that more than once. Apparently, people that formerly worked with him or people that donated to him and stuff like that, they were sitting there asking about, was this stuff like a tax write-off, and he wouldn't sit there and respond to them. And then his fan base, let me tell you something. I'm not sitting there saying that every single fan base of these catchers are bad, but a lot of them are just the absolute bottom of the barrel human beings. Okay? Because basically, if you say anything negative about any one of these groups, you call them out for their behavior, for their unprofessionalism, whatever it is, you say something that goes against the grain of that person, and they will sit there and attack you and call you a pedo. They'll sit there and dox you. I mean, I know this isn't something that Tommy can control, but it's one of those things where it's like, it doesn't make those groups look good, especially when you have fan bases that act like a bunch of rabid dogs. Okay? You want to sit there and talk about you want to dox somebody simply because they started asking for their money back, or they want to sit there and start seeing paperwork. They're going to sit there and be sending you $400, $500 something dollars. They want some sort of documents that they're saying that you are a non-profit organization. You don't just sit there and ignore them and block them and stuff like that. And then when you sit there and try to get answers, you have your rabid dog fan base attack them, doxing them and everything else, calling them all sorts of names. It's absolutely disgusting. And this is something, and I know this is kind of going off topic a little bit, but this is kind of relating to it. So this is something new that a lot of these groups are doing. Educational. So they got in the titles that is educational. It's for educational use. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's not educational as far as, having parents aware and and to sit there and help monitor children and keep them safe and stuff like that. But let's be honest, okay? This is going to do is make this much more difficult when people are doing like educational videos, like teachers, professors, and stuff like that. It's just going to come up under more scrutiny because what you're doing is you're trying to circumvene the new rules um, that YouTube put in place specifically for catchers by saying, "Oh, it's educational." Like, come on, seriously? You're still violating TOS. So you putting educational in the title, it's like you're trying to mask yourself. Like, come on, seriously? And Toronto and Skeeter Jean start putting like little blur things on their faces. But Toronto, I don't know. It seemed like they got a little kind of lazy because I was watching the video and for some of the part in the video, it's blurred. Their face is blurred. But then when they move left and right, you can clearly see their face. So it's like, what are you doing? You know, come on, seriously? And yeah, I do remember Skeeter Smith saying, well, we can blur their faces and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. Try all these different little tricks and stuff like that to get around TOS. But when it comes to its manual review and somebody sits down and watches this stuff, they're going to look at it and be like, no, this is still violating TOS. The issue with YouTube is that it relies on bots a lot of times. And bots do get things wrong. They get a lot of things wrong. Um, YouTube is kind of a broken system to begin with anyway, but I'm like, you're trying to do this to get around the TOS, and it's like, come on, seriously? Blurring faces and saying this for educational use? Come on. This is why, honestly, tell you, this is why a lot of people do not like those groups. Because at the end of the day, YouTube as a whole, this isn't just what they do affects YouTube as a whole. And it affects every single creator on YouTube that use the platform for other things other than to be sitting there catching pedos. I'm not sitting there saying that that's not important. I'm not. But what you're doing is you're going against TOS. You're going against TOS, and the only thing that's going to wind up doing is going to make it harder for other content creators to sit there and make videos in general. It's a suck situation, and I don't know the solution. I don't want to sit there and say that I don't want them on a platform because they are doing good. For every person that they catch is a person that is one less victim. Okay? It's one less victim. But sometimes I got to sit there and look at this whole thing as a whole and not just look at the catchers and the people that go out and be catching these pedos. I got to sit there and look at people that use this platform for different things and different reasons and how it affects everyone in general. Because here's the thing. It doesn't just affect the other people that do these channels, exercise and stuff like that. It affects those viewers as well. Because it makes it much more harder for their favorite content creators to sit there and come on here and do their job and get money and get paid and not worry about YouTube cracking down because you have a group of people that is consistently violating TOS like there's no tomorrow. Anyway, I feel like I kind of ran off on a little tangent, but anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. Be safe, and I will see you in the next video.